I recently started doing a really big closet clean out, and with that, this bone leather Coach purse is one of the items that is leaving. But before I let her go, I do want to give her a really needed deep cleaning. As you can see, this bag has lived a life and she earned her little spa day. So let me show you what my process is on cleaning. Some items that I'll be using are horsehair brushes, one for saddle soap and one for brushing out the bag. And then of course, you're gonna need some leather conditioner. I personally love the Wonder Balsam, but use what you have. The yellow saddle soap is fine for a white bag, so this is what I'll be using. Since the hardware does need some TLC, I'll be using some Brasso, and then just get a tool that you can use to pop off the hardware. Since I don't have like a plastic tub to put this bag into, I am just gonna use some warm water and lots of microfibers and Q-tips. To start the cleaning off, you're gonna have to brush everything down from inside, outside, and make sure you really get the inside because as you can see, it's just raining God knows what. I used to use this bag all the time, so it really needed this. Here's a little history about this bag. It is the Coach Station bag, originally released in 1983. And once we look at the serial number of this bag, we'll know that it was made in April of 1998. The bag had so much stuff on the inside, I actually literally had to shake this towel out. After brushing out the bag, it's time to take the hardware off, which you just have to get under these prongs and pop them up. I did use a seam ripper and a butter knife. The butter knife was better for actually getting the prongs up, and then the seam ripper was good for getting like underneath of them. Once I got them out, I just put them to the side and then I work on the other part of it, which this one was a lot more difficult because I had to maneuver from inside of this pocket. I am stubborn, so I did end up getting them off. I'll put the hardware on a microfiber, squirt some Brasso on it, and I just fold it up and let them soak while I wash the actual bag. I almost forgot to take the hang tag off and also the shoulder strap so I can clean the brass on that stuff too. We can finally start washing the leather. I just put a microfiber into the water. I get the entire bag all wet. If you're using a microfiber, this part, it might look a little scary because once you start, it's going to look really patchy. It's going to highlight the more worn areas. It's going to darken them, but make sure to get the bag equally as wet because it will be patchy after conditioning if you don't. Now it's finally time for the saddle soap. I just honestly wet the brush, wet the soap a little bit, and kind of just go at it. Again, make sure you evenly distribute all the soap. Make sure you scrub everything just as equally. You don't want any patchiness after conditioning. Since I couldn't remove this hardware, I made sure to really scrub it, especially because it just had harnish all over the place. Really get into all the nook and crannies to make sure that you get this bag as clean as possible. I try not to leave too much of a layer of saddle soap on, even though I wipe it down. For the more problem areas like these scuffs on the back, I did make sure to really lather and just kind of let it sit for a few minutes. I really don't care that saddle soap says you just leave the soap on and it'll condition the bag. I rinse it all off because I have a real leather conditioner to use after this. I really wanted to wipe down this suede, so since I got it all wet, I need to make sure I buffed it out with a horsehair brush just so that it wasn't going to look flat and matted. This is how the bag is looking so far. As you can see, there are going to be some really dark spots. It's only because it's wet. Trust the process and let's just get to conditioning.